You may have noticed that I've got an earring in. I actually have 5 piercings, 2 in this ear, 2 in this ear, and 1 which is not on my face. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and Patreon, and I'll put the handles down below and over there. Very seasonal. So if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions. You can become a reaction, fast track them. There's patron exclusive educational videos on there and all sorts of other stuff. So please consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. The next song we're going to listen to is a guilty pleasure of mine. It's probably not a guilty pleasure of yours because it's an absolute tune. It is of course Destiny's Child doing the 8 Days of Christmas. This was like big back when I was a teenager. How old would I have been? I don't know. This was around when I was a teenager. It's when it got released and it's just so like cool. It harkens back to that early noughties R&B time. So let's just go and take a wee listen. I love Christmas songs that use old Christmas songs as like samples. Love it.
You know Christmas was made for the children. Destiny's children. I want y'all to clap your hands. Come Christmas. On. Destiny's child.
That laughing that Kelly did at the start there reminded me of Blades of Glory. You know when he's drunk inside the skater's head. Ha 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 ha. It was a wee bit like that. It's nothing to do with our singing. Let's keep going.
Say what? Ain't there Christmas, my baby gave to me a pair of Chloe shades and a diamond belly ring. On the 7th day of Christmas, my baby gave to me a nice back rub in it, massage my feet. On the 6th day of Christmas, my baby gave to me a crop jacket with 30 denim jeans. On the 5th day of Christmas, my baby gave to me the poem that he wrote for me.
Now, you'll hear Beyonce didn't really start singing until the very end there, "But for me," where she actually tilted forward, used her thyroid cartilage to make that lovely vibrato. Before that, everything was very, very mid-placed, very relaxed, very speechy, and that kind of helps as well because it moves very quickly. So if you try to sing, really sing on top of that sound, you might kind of trip over yourself. So it's a very, very wise choice to keep everything kind of relaxed and more kind of informal.
Feels so in love. If he only knew what he does to me, my man, my man, my baby. Oh, he's so sexy. I'm so in love. How I love him for his generosity, my man, my man, my baby.
So Kelly started here. This actually sounds quite low for where I feel Kelly would be comfortable. We all know that Kelly can hit some really big high notes and that's kind of where her comfort zone is. All that low place work, that do 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 do. I'm so in la 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 love. When she went up to la 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 love, it sounded way more comfortable than when she was down there. Sometimes perception of low notes can get in the way. Like you think you have to pull down the way, but in actual fact, it's just a shortening of your vocal folds. So if you think about things maybe getting a wee bit more kind of contained, that note might be easier to achieve. Even think up rather than down, and some of these low notes can be a little bit easier to get. Sounds like there's a wee bit of a backing track in there to help fill out that little backing line. Just sounded very artificial to what their live vocals sounded like. So I don't know, we'll see as we go on, it might become more obvious. Let's keep going.
It feels lovely, feels so lovely. Whoa. Doesn't it feel like Christmas? It feels lovely, feels so lovely. The spirit of Christmas.
Michelle's voice is just the definition of husky, isn't it? There's air the whole way through. It sounds really kind of misty in the kind of background almost. That's probably why her voice works so well in that vocal unit, because air really helps to join in different tones. So she's always in that vocal unit. Her voice is going to be the thing that glues all those tones together. I really like Michelle's voice.
Fourth day of Christmas, my baby gave to me a candlelit dinner, just me and my honey. On the third day of Christmas, my baby gave to me a gift certificate to get my favorite CDs. On the second day of Christmas, my baby gave to me the keys to a CLK Mercedes. First day of Christmas, my baby gave to me quality TIME.
So you could hear that she almost struggled to get back into the next part of her phrase there. Beyonce, I mean, you know who I'm talking about. I think part of that might have been down to that big gasp of air that she did. What happens when you do that is your larynx can shoot down the way. So she's got to get her voice back into position. Then a short, sharp breath would have probably been a better choice. But as I said, this moves so fast that sometimes you don't have a choice. That could be like a recoil breath, which is where it's just going to happen whether you want it to or not. But I love Beyonce's tone. I mean, she's Beyonce, so amazing.
Feels so in love. If he only knew what he does to me, my man, my baby. Oh, it makes me look so lovely, so sexy. I'm so in love. How I love him for his generosity, my man, my baby.
So you'll hear there, she's making more choices to make little flicks up the way rather than pull everything down. So these low notes have become less frequent. She's literally just having to dip down for a second. I think that's a better choice. It sounded way more connected the whole way through and just allowed her to be where she's more comfortable. There is a track there, you can kind of hear it. They come in and out and sing with it when they want to, but there's definitely a track just for that one wee bit, possibly in the chorus as well. I don't know, let's listen to it and find out.
Doesn't it feel like Christmas? It feels lovely. Doesn't it feel like Christmas? It feels so lovely. Doesn't it feel like Christmas? Whoa.
Yeah,
Doesn't it feel like Christmas? It feels lovely. Doesn't it feel like Christmas? It feels so lovely. Doesn't it feel like Christmas? Spirit of Christmas. It feels like Christmas.
Yeah, there is a track in there. Pardon me. T, why did you do that to me? I've been betrayed by T. There is a track in there, you can actually hear a really low one. Doesn't it feel like Christmas? It's down there. Doesn't it feel like Christmas? Just to thicken that whole sound out. So there's definitely layered vocals to make that just sound way more slick. Really, really common in R&B. Actually really common all over the place. People will record multiple layers of vocals in order to make that sound really full.
It's Christmas, it's Christmas, it's Christmas, it's Christmas, it's Christmas, it's Christmas, feels like Christmas, feels like Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feels lovely, feels so lovely. It feels so lovely. Feels so lovely. Spirit of Christmas. It feels lovely. Feels so lovely.
So we're getting a lot more dynamic stuff going on here towards the end. This is where they're just having a wee play around. Beyonce is so on point with her riffs and her runs. They're always tasteful. They're never over the top. They've always got a real character to them. Like, you can pick her voice out of the biggest of crowds. It's so distinct. Little tiny bit of growls in here and there. That's to do with her aretinoids. Little bit of twang. That's to do with her epiglottis. And combining those sounds together, you get a really slick but also really textured, amazing, distinct voice. Really, really good.
It feels lovely, so lovely. Spirit of Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you too. And thank you, Michelle, even though you didn't say thank you, but thank you. So that was the 8 Days of Christmas. That took me back. That made me very nostalgic for my childhood or young adulthood or however old I was. I don't remember stuff, okay? I don't remember nothing. It's quite interesting to hear that track done with a live band. You'd be used to hearing that song with all the like overproduced sounds, all the bells and whistles, all the compression you could possibly ask for. But to have those like live drums, the big live bass in the back as well, it kind of changed the energy of it. It was really cool. That's probably what made the track stick out a wee bit more. They maybe didn't even need the track, but obviously it just really helped with those big full bits. You could hear it with the middle 8-bit where it was all like, oh, whoa, or whatever the notes were. That was really heavily tracked. You could see Beyonce, she was just kind of laughing. She wasn't singing that phrase at all, and she got ready for her bit before her vocal had stopped, so there was definitely tracked stuff going on in there. But I love it. I love that song. So Guilty Pleasure out in the open, that's a tune. So hope you liked that reaction. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And how are we going to buy this one? So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And if you want to see more of my content, just subscribe and like. What? That just happened. That happened. Anyway, bye.